Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and it's time for this week's Pokemon Omega Ruby Rotation Battle team building video. So the Pokemon that I'm using as the Mega Evolution for this week, I've actually sort of delayed him a little bit because I had recently, in the past little while, used a Mega Gyarados already, but as I mentioned, I do have a second Gyarados in my collection by the name of Dive Bomb. And this week, Dive Bomb has his chance to shine as a Mega Gyarados. So we're going to look at the team that I've assembled right now, featuring Mega Dive Bomb as the team captain, and the other 5 I've assembled to try to get some victories this week in the rotation battles in the free battle and battle spot. So let's check out the team. So yes, the Mega Evolution for the week this week will be our second Gyarados, Dive Bomb, hailing originally from the Hoenn region. This was my diving Pokemon to get through that game back in the day. He is a naive nature, which is actually an increase to the speed stat while lowering the special defense. So he might take some harder hits on the special side, but we have ways to try to work around that this week. His natural ability is Intimidate, so as soon as he comes into battle, I'm probably going to have him in the active spot for sure, because the Intimidate will activate in that sense, dropping the attack stat of whatever the opponent decides to lead off with as well. Now, of course, he's got the Gyarados-ite to allow for Mega Evolution into Mega Gyarados. When he does so, he actually switches the ability over to Mold Breaker, which says abilities such as Levitate and other things like that will not affect the damage done by the attacks that Dive Bomb uses. So those attacks are starting off with Dive. Now, it's not the most beneficial attack to be using on not only a Gyarados, but anything in general, because it's a 2-turn attack. The opponent could rotate something up that will resist it as soon as we go for it, but it is kind of Dive Bomb's namesake, and it is what sort of makes him unique from my other Gyarados. So I'm going to work with that and see how well it goes. If all works well, the opponent won't have anything that will resist it, and I can just go for a free dive. Now, we do have Iron Head on here also. It is super effective against Dive Bomb's normal weakness to Rock, but as soon as he Mega Evolves, it's also good against his weakness to Fairy. And once he outspeeds, based on the other 2 moves as I'll mention, Iron Head has the chance to cause flinching, which could really come in handy. So, going with the thought process of speed control, which I sort of picked up during the Kanto Classic, we have Bulldoze right now. I was going to go Earthquake, but I thought speed control could be a big important thing to go for. So, Bulldoze being half as powerful as Earthquake, actually a little more than half. It's like 60 power and Earthquake is 100. I keep thinking it's 120, unless it is now and I'm mistaken. Either way, Bulldoze is going to lower the speed stat of anything it hits, including things like Levitate Pokemon as soon as we do Mega Evolve. The only thing that will be immune to that, of course, is Flying type. And, in case we do fight a bunch of Flying types, in order to get some speed control, actually some speed boost on our side, we have Dragon Dance. It's going to boost Dive Bomb's attack and speed stat by 1 stage. For Super Training, we've got Speed maxed out, we've got Attack maxed out. Dragon Dance is going to make that so much more powerful. We just drop the remainder few points into Special Defense, even though I don't think that makes a difference. I don't think it makes any of the, it makes the Special Defense go up by a point or anything. But we just put everything we needed to where we needed to put it. So, the second Pokemon on the team, the first one joining Dive Bomb this week, is Cliff the Clefairy. Cliff is a timid Pokemon, which is an increase to the speed while lowering the attack stat. And Cliff isn't going to be really focused on offensive attacks anyway, so Tim is not that bad of a nature for him. He's got Magic Guard, which is actually a really neat ability. It makes it so that he will only lose HP from direct attacks. So things like weather conditions, toxic or burn, even stuff like Leech Seed will not drain Cliff's energy away. And since he is an unevolved Pokemon, I was considering Eviolite, but his defenses are really not that good, and boosting them by 50% wouldn't help him that much. So I went with Focus Sash, because I want to make sure he survives 1 hit to try to get off one of his strategies. So the first move you'll see is Metronome. Not reliable by any means, but fun for sure. So if I imagine I'm losing the fight anyway and want to go for something a little crazy, or if I'm actually winning so good I can risk it, I'll try Metronome and see what random luck decides to give me. Now this is our Toxic user for the week. It's going to work well in conjunction with another Pokemon I'm bringing, which I'll mention as we get to them. But Toxic is going to get some increasing damage on the opponent, getting a nice poison condition. Trick is a move we might not really make much use of if we see some Mega Evolution or some Primal Reversions on the opposing side. Because what we can do is trick an item away, giving the opponent our item while taking theirs. But of course, things like Mega Stones cannot be taken away. Now, if Cliff has already used his Focus Sash, basically, Trick becomes a thief kind of a move. We just steal the item away for ourselves. The final move is Reflect, so he's going to be our Reflect setter for the week. If we see some decent physical danger coming from the opposing side, I can bring Cliff in, rotate him up, he will survive 1 hit with Focus Sash, and we'll get the Reflect up to improve the physical defense for the rest of the team. For his Super Training, I put a good amount into the physical defense, dropped a little bit into the special defense, the speed, and the HP, trying to, ration them out accordingly. Didn't put anything into the 2 offensive stats because, like I said, he's not really going to be focused on offense for this week. The third Pokemon on the team this week shall be Tails the Ninetales. She is a quiet Pokemon, which is an increase to her special attack stat, which is really nice, but it does lower her speed, which isn't the best. But if we can get some of that speed control using Dive Bomb's Bulldoze and something else I'll mention later, she could possibly outspeed, and even if not, she can at least get some good damage off, hopefully taking some hits, because she has some pretty good special defense. Her ability is Flash Fire, so if the opponent goes for a Fire-type move, I can rotate her up and gain a Fire-type attack boost for following turns for the Overheat attack. And I've got her holding the Pitaya Berry. This is a berry that when she gets low on the HP, she'll eat it, and it actually increases her special attack stat even more. So we could get off some pretty powerful attacks. Basically, I'm using this in conjunction with her first attack, which you'll see Overheat. As soon as she uses Overheat, it lowers her special attack by 2 stages. So, in that case, the Pitaya Berry, or Pitaya Berry, not sure how to pronounce it, will possibly offset the drop of the special attack. And we have Psyshock on here. It's going to be interesting to try this out. We took a pretty bad hit last week from a Mega Mewtwo Psy Strike, which is a stronger version of Psyshock, but essentially those are both moves that based off of the special attack of the user, but the physical defense of the target. So, I'm not fully well versed in the differences in defenses for the Primal Legendaries, but I imagine if I see something with pretty good special defense, Psyshock is definitely going to be a good way to go. Now, we do have Will-O-Wisp on Tails as well. I'm going to be able to burn anything except a fire type and lower the attack stat while causing increasing damage every turn. And to offset the special attack drop of our own Overheat, we do have Nasty Plot. It sharply raises the special attack stat by 2 stages. So I can do this either way. I can either go for the Overheat at regular power, and then Nasty Plot to get it back to normal, or I can Nasty Plot first, getting a much more powerful Overheat, and as soon as I use it, drop the special attack back to the normal. Now, for her super training, kind of like Dive Bomb, only reverse, we have max speed and max special attack. Just drop the remainder into the HP, as you see there. The 4th Pokemon on the team this week is good old Pikachu. This is my bashful Pokemon from back in the Kanto region. Currently, you can see him in the Pokemon Blue playthrough, of course. And it is so I said bashful nature, neutral nature, nothing has changed. His ability is static, so if anyone physically connects against him, could get some paralysis on the target, which could be some speed control. And of course, as soon as he found that light ball, he isn't letting that go. It's going to boost, I believe by double, the 2 offensive stats of attack and special attack. Now, for this week, I'm hoping that we're going to see, no, I say hoping, air quotes, that we're going to see Primal Kyogre, because if so, Pikachu is going to be possibly our best counter against that. He's using the Thunder attack instead of Thunderbolt. So if Primal Kyogre comes in and sets up the Primordial Sea, Pikachu's Thunder suddenly becomes fully accurate, could get a massive damage off on that Primal Legendary from Hoenn. Of course, he does still have his Body Slam attack. He also has Thunder Wave, which is another speed control option this week. You can paralyze anything but a ground type or an electric type, thereby cutting their speed down to, I'm pretty sure, 1/4, and possibly ensuring the rest of my team will outspeed. And he is our light screen setter for the week. He's going to be able to get our special defense boosted by 50% for 5 turns. For Pikachu Super Training, we've maxed out his speed stat and put an equal amount into the special attack and the attack, trying to make sure that his offensive moves hit just as good as it can thanks to that light ball. The 5th Pokemon for the team this week is going to be Axel the Roserade. Axel is a calm Pokemon, which is an increase to the special defense and lowering the attack stat, which is actually really nice, because Roserade are not really known for physical offense, but special defense is definitely good to have. And as it turns out, our little Roserade here, well, has max IVs in attack, not that that matters, but he also has max IVs in special defense and speed, so he has the possibly best special defense that you can imagine for a Roserade. He's not fully super trained, as you'll see for that, but if I wanted to, I could have him at the max special defense. Anyway, he has the Poison Point ability, so if anyone physically connects against him, much like Pikachu's Static, we can get a special condition off by inflicting them with poison. And for some healing recovery, we have Black Sludge as the held item. Now, Axel could be another counter for Primal Kyogre. He does have Grass Knot, and I checked online, and Primal Kyogre is pretty heavy. So Grass Knot should hit with 120 power against that Primal Legendary if we happen to see it in battle. Just in case we see any Mega Rayquaza, or just any Rayquaza in general, Axel also has Dazzling Gleam this week, a fairy type move will be super effective against any dragons we happen to see. Now, if the opponent does get hit by the poison point, or if Cliff is in battle and we get the toxic off, we do have Venom Drench on Axel here as well. Venom Drench only works against a poisoned opponent, but if you connect with it, it lowers the attack, special attack, and speed stats by 1 stage. So we can slowly whittle away something and make it so that they're not going to be a threat whatsoever. If they're poisoned, Axel could definitely do that. Now, we can get some aromatherapy off if the opponent does hit us with some special conditions. We're going to cure anything like a burn, paralyze, sleep, anything we want. We're just going to rotate Axel up to do so and cure all those conditions. For the super training, other than the HP and the attack, I pretty much put almost an even amount into the rest of the stats. You see defense, special defense, speed, and special attack all have a good amount of the training put into them. The final Pokemon for the team this week is going to be Witwicky the Chandelure. This is an impish Pokemon, which increases defense and decreases special attack, so really not the best nature, but it is what he has. We're going to work with that. He's got the Flash Fire ability also, just like Tails. So if the opponent goes for a fire move, rotate him up, suddenly the fire moves are going to be boosted, but it doesn't matter for Witwicky, because you'll see he doesn't have any fire type moves this week. And he's holding the air balloon. As I've learned in previous weeks, it's really cool the way the air balloon works in the rotation battles. If I bring Witwicky into the battle, but put him into one of the 2 rear spots, it doesn't show that the air balloon is attached, so the opponent isn't going to know he's immune to ground attacks. If we see some Primal Groudon, or just basically anything that could go for a ground move, I can rotate Witwicky up, watch them go for the Precipice Blades, and watch it fail because the air balloon keeps us immune to that. For the moveset, we have Shadow Ball, which is a good stab attack, 80 power I believe, and could lower the special defense. We didn't have a Dark move for the team this week, so I actually replaced Flamethrower with Dark Pulse, just in case we see any Psychic Pokemon that the Shadow Ball might otherwise be resisted by, or at least, be neutral to. Dark Pulse could give us some options. And just for fun, I'm going to try Hidden Power. Witwicky's Hidden Power is Poison. Now, of course, it's only good against Grass and Fairy, but we don't have much answers for Fairy types this week. We do have Iron Head on Dive Bomb, but we wanted to have like another option, and just to sort of see how well the Hidden Power works for another Pokemon. I use it a lot on Zapdos because it has a Fighting type Hidden Power, but let's just see what the Poison type Hidden Power can do for us. And our Safeguard setter for the week is Witwicky. If the opponent seems to have a team that might go for some special conditions, we can rotate Witwicky up, throw up the Safeguard, that way we'll be protected against those things for 5 turns. For the super training, I put a good amount into special defense, put a little bit into the defense and special attack and the HP. Speed and attack we didn't do anything with, so we put the special training basically where we had to put it to make use of Witwicky the best we could. So that is the team for this week's Pokemon Omega Ruby Rotation Battles. Feel free to leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think of the team and the movesets and the strategies, and if you have any suggestions for improvements, leave those down below as well, and I'll look forward to hearing your feedback and see if I can put some ideas into some future battles. With that, we're going to end off the team builder, and tomorrow we're going to see the rotation battles here on the channel, see how well these guys do on the field of battle this week in Omega Ruby. With that, I want to say thank you for checking out the team builder, and hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow. Alright, till then, I'll catch you next time.